When we think of India, we almost always think in terms of incomprehensible scale. It is a nation defined by sprawling megacities and unbroken horizons. This monument displays the Indian Constitution. Managing a population this size requires immense bureaucratic architecture, resulting in a founding document that originally contained 395 articles. And this is Varanasi. People have lived, worked, and worshipped on these exact riverfront steps for thousands of years, creating a deep, continuously inhabited timeline. But that grand narrative of massive numbers and ancient history creates a cultural blind spot. The sheer weight of the statistics obscures hyperlocal realities that even native citizens rarely hear about. India is actually a fractured mosaic of microcultures. Extreme anomalies thrive right at the edges of the map. To understand how the country actually operates, you have to zoom out of the national lens and step directly into the margins. Take this severe geography of the Northeast. The village of Mawsynram receives enormous amounts of rain, holding the record for highest annual rainfall on Earth. In an environment this wet, conventional engineering washes away, so local communities abandoned traditional construction entirely. They trained the roots of rubber fig trees to grow across rivers, engineering living bridges that remain usable for generations. Deep in these same steep valleys lies Kongthong. Navigating the deep ravines makes shouting exhausting, so the villagers bypassed spoken language. They call each other using highly specific melodic whistles. Moving over to Manipur, look at these circular masses of vegetation on the water. They are called phumdis. They make up Cable Lamjau, the only floating national park on the planet. This bizarre floating ecosystem serves a singular, critical purpose. It protects the highly endangered Sangai deer, providing a habitat that exists nowhere else. In these isolated pockets, geography dictates reality. Severe environmental pressures force human and biological adaptations that completely defy standard logic. You see the same localized anomalies created by arbitrary political borders. This is a map of the Navapur railway station. The boundary separating the states of Maharashtra and Gujarat cuts perfectly across the center of the platform. This creates a bizarre jurisdictional glitch. A single piece of infrastructure operates under two completely different sets of state laws simultaneously, depending entirely on where you decide to stand. A similar isolation occurs in economics. The village of Hiwade Bazar in Maharashtra was once crippled by desperate poverty and severe drought. Instead of waiting for a national bailout, the villagers engineered a hyper-local water conservation and agricultural strategy. The land recovered, crop yield surged, and today almost every home in the village belongs to a millionaire. Massive national infrastructure and overarching economic policies often fracture at the local level. They leave behind these highly isolated pockets of intense wealth and strange jurisdictional overlap. Ancient spiritual and cultural practices also warp into unexpected forms when isolated from the mainstream. In Madhya Pradesh, the small town of Khajuraho houses an extraordinary complex of thousand-year-old temples. These intricate stone carvings cover the exteriors, depicting highly detailed, unorthodox scenes of daily life, mythology, and explicit human relationships. They directly challenge the conservative historical narratives often applied to ancient Indian society. Or look at the Karni Mata temple in Rajasthan. Here, thousands of rats live freely inside the walls. Devotees follow strict traditions to protect, feed, and worship them as sacred beings. These traditions continue to thrive in the margins, existing outside the simplified history often found in standard textbooks. They persist as physical evidence of a cultural landscape that is far more varied than a single national summary suggests. When you pull back from these extreme local examples and look at the entire country again, the monolithic perception starts to break down. The character of the nation emerges from these specific, localized extremes. A village of whistle speakers, a floating forest, and a millionaire farming community are the very parts that makes the whole country function. Staring only at the whole guarantees you will remain blind to the extraordinary details hiding in plain sight. So, how many of these hidden microcultures did you actually know about? Let us know which details surprised you the most, and follow for more stories hiding in the margins.